Well, hello everyone, Larry back with you again, and what I'm working on today is sawing up one of these logs that I bought here a few weeks back. I want to see what kind of lumber I can get out of these smaller logs, and maybe that'll give me an idea of what I can get out of the larger ones. The project that I had in mind to begin with was the new shed up by the lawnmower shed. But what I'm considering now is to use these logs for my tractor shed down, which is a lean-to on the side of the barn. And so I may cut these at regular dimension. 2x4s would be 1.5 inches, or basically 1 inch and a little bit over 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches to kind of match up some of the posts and all that are already on that tractor shed lean-to. So that's what I'm planning on doing with this first one, just kind of seeing how it works out and what kind of lumber I can get out of it. Let me go back to last Saturday and kind of give you an idea, or maybe give you an explanation of the video that we had last week. Was 2021 in review. And those three lovely young ladies that was on the thumbnail for that video, 2 of them was my daughters, Nikki and Kim, and the young lady in the middle was my daughter-in-law, Lori. And I featured them on the thumbnail of the video. I had planned to have some video of a photo session that we had done in Breckenridge, Colorado. That's where those photos were taken at, and I just didn't get to it in that video. And let me explain just a little bit about the 2021 video. I had recently had a checkup at my cardiologist, and the stress test that we did showed a little bit of abnormality when I got to the 3rd level in it. So my cardiologist, Dr. Williams, wanted me to go and have an arteriogram done, a heart cath, and that was scheduled last Friday morning early at the Huntsville Hospital in Huntsville, Alabama. So we went on up on Thursday night, spent the evening in Huntsville at the hospital early the next morning, and they prepped me and got me ready for the heart cath, which was scheduled at 7 o'clock that morning. Fortunately and thankfully to the good Lord, they didn't find any blockage of any kind. In fact, he took me off of some medications that my cardiologist had put me on, and also took me off of a low-strength aspirin each day. And that kind of surprised me, because I thought you basically needed to take a low-strength aspirin every day. But anyway, he took me off of it, and he did put me on a cholesterol medication just for preventative, which is Lipitor. And Lipitor's got a lot of side effects, and I've been hesitant about starting it. Probably will go ahead and start it sometime this week. But just a little bit of, when you read the side effects of Lipitor, it's almost like you think, well, maybe what it's trying to prevent is not as bad as the side effects of the medication itself. So I've been a little bit hesitant about taking the Lipitor. But when they did the heart cath, there's 2 ways that they can go in to your arteries or veins. One is in the wrist and one is in the groin. And they prepped me for both, but fortunately, I guess fortunately, the doctor went in through my wrist here, and he didn't want me to do any kind of lifting or basically any kind of exercise for about a 42-hour period, at least. He said 42 hours. No lifting of anything more than 5 pounds, and to keep the location of that entrance into my bloodstream or my blood vessel, to keep it clean and of course covered with a bandage. So for that reason, we didn't do anything last weekend. No outside activities, no projects, nothing. And so in order to have a video to upload for you last weekend, I did the video 2021 in review. So maybe that's a little bit of an explanation on that. But this morning, I think I'll take this log here that I'm sitting on and put it over on the mill, cut it up, just see what kind of lumber we can get out of it, maybe some good 2x4s, and just kind of do a little bit of experimenting with this first smaller log here. So come on everybody, let's get started. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. As always, comment, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started on this project. Because of the way that I picked that log up, it would put the smaller end up toward the head of the sawmill. I'm going to turn it around so that I can have the smaller end at the foot of the sawmill, and I'll use what I've got here, and maybe you might notice me using that from time to time. That is a motorcycle lift jack, and makes a perfect thing to lift the log up on the lower end so that I can get a good level cant out of the log. So I'm going to turn around, get the log on the opposite side. That'll put the larger end up toward the head of the sawmill. I really do like the grapple, the new grapple on the front of Little John for placing these logs on the sawmill. It just does such a better job than using my pallet forks and trying to make sure I don't get the pallet forks down on the sawmill. I can see with this grapple, I can see where it is in relation to the bed of the sawmill, and then I can just put it down on it. Just such a much better method of putting the logs on my sawmill instead of using my pallet forks. Well, when I went to do the measurement, the log's level on the sawmill bed, so that's the way we're going to cut it. Okay folks, there you have it. Wrap this video up. Pretty pleased with two things. Number one, got 8 really good 2x4s out of that first log that I milled. Those are the logs that I bought over at my friend's Sawmill the other day. And the second thing that I'm pleased with is, again, the Grapple. I really do like the way that the Grapple works as far as putting logs on the sawmill, and just for that matter, just handling the logs in general. Even with the pallet forks, which work great, but I'd still have to get off the tractor and roll the log up on the pallet fork, and then there was the potential of it shifting as I was moving it around. But with the Grapple here, I don't even have to get off the tractor, just walk up, grab a hold of them, bring them over, put them on the sawmill. So that works really great. I want to thank you all for joining us here on St. Nick's Farms today, St. Nick's Farms and Tara Place Christmas Tree Farm. I really do appreciate it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That is very important to us. We're working on our subscriptions now. I hope we can increase our subscription list, and I hope we can also increase our viewers of the videos also. So maybe from time to time we'll have a video that'll really be something that appeals to you, and if you would like it and share it. So thank you so much again for joining us. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you the next time. Bye-bye, everybody.